Simon with Assets and Arbitrage. And today the show topic is Rule of 72. This is actually a really technical topic. I know it's a hard pivot from us talking about, the little things that build character in order to help build, maintain, and protect your wealth. But we do have to throw in some technical aspects from time to time. We realized in some casual conversations with several people that there are a lot of people, myself included, who don't really understand the rule of 72. So for the majority of you, you actually get to see how the show really started. Simon used to spend a lot of time teaching me the market. He has brought up rule of 72 to me a while ago, and I just am not well versed enough because he's the one who does it in our relationship when he's doing the investments and stuff. That's really his function. So he really wanted to kind of go over it again with me, but when he realized that none of these other people knew or were aware of or had never heard of rule of 72, he said, let's take the opportunity when I'm teaching you, let's teach them and get it going. So I'm not going to be as active in the show today because I'm going to be note taking, and you're going to get to see what our mentorship sessions actually look like. It's him talking and me shutting up and listening.
So yeah, Rule 72. It's a well-known rule of investing, but what we like to talk about as people out here are building wealth, we also want to be extra on protecting your wealth. And the rule of 72 is something great that will protect your wealth over the years, right? So we did a show about time preference, low time preference, wanting to zoom out and see the end result, right? Everybody wants Bitcoin at 250,000, a million and all this stuff, but you got to zoom it out a little bit and take your time. So we're going to go over the rule 72. She's going to read a quick definition of it, and then I'll go over the formulas.
So as I was kind of preparing for my own mentoring session about the rule of 72, I have the record.
Oh, no, good.
I have the we got a little flying here following this, y'all. I had the Wikipedia, but Investopedia, for you guys who really want to take some good notes, Investopedia has a really good definition. I'm sorry, my words are escaping me today. A really good definition and some little tidbits about it that are absolutely helpful if it's something that you're interested in. So investopedia.com, check it out, rule of 72. Now for Wikipedia, it gives you a nice simplified version of rule of 72. So in finance, the rule of 72 and the rule of 69.3, we'll talk about it, he'll talk about it, are methods for estimating an investment's doubling time. The rule number of 72 is divided by the interest percentage per period, usually in years, to obtain the approximate number of periods required for doubling. Although scientific calculators and spreadsheet programs have specific functions in order to help you find the accurate doubling time, these rules are useful for the mental calculations, which is typically what Simon does with our investments, when only a basic calculator is available. These rules apply to exponential growth. They are therefore used for compound interest. And I know a lot of you guys who are day traders and who have participated in trading are familiar with compounding, compound interest, and so on and so forth. As opposed to simple interest calculations, they can be used for decay to obtain a halving time. The choice of number is mostly a matter of preference. 69 is more accurate for continuous compounding. That's typically what hubby uses, while 72 works well in common interest situations and is more easily divisible. There are a number of variations to the rules that improve accuracy. For periodic compounding, the exact doubling time for an interest rate of R percent per period is, and then they give you the formula. Do you want me to share the screen so they can see the formula?
Well, we can, but I just want to just break that down in simple
Okay.
terms.
But
What
am
you
I
said.
going to read it?
No, that's really good. That's really good. And so what she's saying there is in the rule of 72, you might use in more simple interest rates, what they have called rule of 70, but she said 6.69, but they just rounded up. So it helps you with simple interest rates. And I'm gonna show you the actual formulas that you can use. But this is, like we said, it's a way to protect wealth. This is what wealthy people use. That's why they go into, different things like T-bonds, treasury bonds, and things like that, so they can protect their wealth. So for example, say you had made a lot of profit on Bitcoin, right? And you decided to take some of that profit from Bitcoin and turn it into precious metals, right? Because you say, once you got the profit, say Bitcoin hit 60,000, you say, I'm taking some profit off the top, and you turn and put it into precious metals, and because you'll get a nice annual gain. It won't be as much as Bitcoin, but it's a way to protect your money. You make money, then put it away and you protect money, right? And so this is what we're talking about with the rule of 72.
So what I would do is, because Bitcoin is a lot more volatile, so I can get the 10 bagger,
Yeah.
3 bagger in this case, right? I would take the profits from there because it's more volatile and maybe put it into something in order to protect it. That's more of a safe haven, like precious metals. And then it's gonna be long-term though, right? I'm gonna double it long-term, but it's a way to at least save my economic energy.
Yes, and a lot of that about investing is a lot of stuff is age-based. So, when you're younger, you can take bigger risks. As you get older and older and you got a family and start to, you got grandkids and stuff like that, you put your money in a safe haven. Put it in a safe haven. Cash is not a safe haven. It's losing its value every day. So, that's one of the things that you gotta kind of figure out over time when you make some gains, like put them somewhere where they could sit and be safe and just grow a little bit. I'm still a Bitcoiner, I'm still a maximalist always, but I know when to shave off some profit and put it in a safe haven. So, a lot of people argue about, precious metals and Bitcoin and say, well, hey, you can have both. You can have both. You can be flipping and bouncing both. So let me pull this up. I'm going to go through these formulas real quick.
And the formulas look complicated. One of the things we have been talking about, you guys, is doing things that make you uncomfortable. A lot of times when people see complicated formulas, they automatically kind of mentally check out. So just kind of like sit through this with us, take a look at it, work through it. We have smart computers in our pockets, they're supercomputers. You can always use it to help you. You just ask Google, really. You just plug the formula in Google will answer the question. But we also want to help kind of practice building those new neural pathways and doing things that make us uncomfortable, especially if you're not strong in math. So just give me one moment. I'm going to share my screen so you can see what we're talking about. Is it this one?
Yeah. So
wait, hold on. I didn't share it. I just wanted to make sure we had the right screen. All right, this one. Okay, you guys, I know I have to fix it. You guys should be able to see our screen.
So this is from our good friend, Organic Chemistry Tutor. You can find him on YouTube. He has great videos. He breaks down a number of things on science, mathematics, and stuff like that. So you check him out, Organic Chemistry Tutor. So the first equation is T equals 72 over R. So T will stand for time, R is rate of return, right? And in his example right here, he used a fixed interest rate of 4%. divided by 72 will give you 18 years to double your money. So that's just, oh, I'm sorry. That is just the example he has given. Okay, now here, when you're talking about, and remember, this is for simple interest. This first one, it is for simple interest. That's why he said, you know, you need a scientific calendar to do the second one. So this is going to give you a more accurate. It's going to give you a more accurate.
The second equation is going to give you a more accurate.
So it's just T, which means times over natural log times 2, divided by natural log 1, and you know, whatever the interest rate is, what he has here, it looks like 4 plus the rate of return. I'm sorry, it's hard to read this right. So you see that again. So
what is natural log?
So natural log, so that's when you have a scientific calculator, logarithmic, but natural log. So it's the natural log times 2 divided by 1 natural log, and you know, 1 plus the rate of return, which equals natural log times 2 divided by natural log, you know, and the rate of.
So he's basically saying in the second one, when he plugs in the numbers, that this is a more accurate number. It's going to take 17.67 years,
yep.
But we just kind of estimated at 18 years. So there's no sense for me in complicating myself with the second one. I could just kind of do this first one and still get within the ballpark.
That's what he said, exactly.
Okay.
Exactly, and that, you know, this kind of is the law of 7.
Yeah, the boys have a scientific calculator. I don't know where it's at. See, we'll do this tonight together. But for you guys who are like, we're introducing this concept to you, basically just use the simple formula, which is 72 over whatever the rate of interest is over the 4 years.
That's the rate of interest is 4%.
It's 4%.
Yeah.
Okay, so rule of 72 divided by the interest rate, and that gives me how many years it takes for me to double.
Yeah, double your money. And you know,
so like a CD, if I had a CD that was, I don't know, 3.5%, they don't have those CDs anymore. But I could have did 72 divided by 3.5% to realize how long it's going to take to double my CD.
Yeah, because it's supposed to be, it's a fixed interest rate. So this is something you can use, and you know, when you have volatile investments and things like that, it's hard to use
because you don't have
you don't have a fixed rate. All you can do is go back and look at the rate of return, and then maybe you can average it out and then say, well, I think I'm going to get, you know, this % per year.
Okay. And then I want to stop sharing. Sorry, you guys. My computer's not behaving today. This is ridiculous. I'm sorry, you guys. I just want to quit sharing and the screen won't open.
And like you said, you can definitely find this information on investopedia.com. They give you a lot of great information, classes you can take, videos to watch. I mean, I really like them. I've used them a lot, different things. You know, investopedia.com is a great resource, just for information and things like that. And like I said, our good friend, organic chemistry tutor, he teaches great classes, especially in mathematics and finance, and you know, chemistry. If you're interested in that, you know, but he's a great tutor and teacher, and you know, I get a lot of information from him. Man, he's a great guy. You know, it's great for education.
Yeah, we use them a lot for
Yeah.
homeschooling the kids.
Mhm.
A lot of the stuff is really, really technical and it does require a lot of attention span. So it's not for the faint of heart.
Yeah,
Um,
it's not.
So you were saying earlier,
Yes.
like when you have more volatile profits,
Okay,
it's very difficult to use this because you don't have a fixed rate of return. So this is like prime example of taking profits from a more volatile investment. Right, not just Bitcoin, but some of the other stuff we have, right, which has variable rates of return.
right.
When I put it into something safe, like my precious metals, or my 401k,
Mhm.
right? Or our the thing that we're using that Liz uses. What is it called?
Yep. You talking about with the IRAs or something?
Yeah, with the IRAs and go anyway, but they're
Yeah.
safer because they give me rates of return. Like my 401k, I think I told you that it gave us a 3.7 return last year.
Okay.
Right, so then I can use this to say, okay, the rate of return over however X number of years, I'm gonna double that, because we kind of did that aggressively last year.
Yeah, and it's definitely.
Not as aggressive in it this year.
Yeah, it's
because-
harder to use the rule of 72 on volatile investments, but if you have investments that kind of know what kind of return you're gonna get
Mhm.
year over year, that's when you can use the rule of 72 just to.
Like a
expect-
401k, which
Yeah.
is gonna give you something year over
Yeah,
year.
and just expect, okay, it should double in this time frame.
Mhm.
And so that's what that is for. And you gotta have your portfolio set up in a certain way where you got more volatile stuff, you got your safer stuff, you got your mid-level
Mhm.
stuff, and you understand that, hey, I can move this here to here, so it'll be safer. And you gotta read the market. What's the market say? Everybody's talking about this, that, if you're talking about real estate, right?
Mhm.
You're talking about oil, we're
Mhm.
talking about gold, we're talking about commodities, things like that. So if you have things like that, you have to kind of have a some foresight to see where it might go, where it's plotted out to go. Even if you trade Forex, you got to have some foresight on whatever currency that you are looking at and see where that might go in the next 10 to 20 years. And that's where macroeconomics is such an important, so that you know what you're looking at over an entire business cycle. Macroeconomics is very important for the people out there who might want to know about macroeconomics, the large group. You can check out a gentleman, his name is Raoul Paul. He's a great macroeconomist, and also Lynn Alden. She's great, and she gives you a free, very, very detailed newsletter every quarter. So, you go check out lynnalden.com and she can give you that newsletter, send it to you. And, it's really detailed. But it's a lot of good information in there. And it's good to just kind of comb over, because she'll give you the view of what is to come, right? So we have that, and we have that. So, and I forgot what I was about to say. She was going to say something. I'm sorry, but it's the long view. It's the long view, and that's what we have to have. We have to have the long view, because low time preference. That's the great way to invest. Sorry. This is. And so I'm sorry. So long time preference for your generational wealth building. Now, if you're building for yourself a little bit, then maybe you take it a little more risky if you're younger.
Yeah.
If you're younger, you start getting, when you start getting your late 30s, early 40s, you gotta strategically change and not have so much volatility in the wealth that you have built up to that point. So you know, and I mean, that's just an idea that we have. We are not financial
advisors, we don't
but
give financial
Right.
advice. We live, we are scientists though, we are absolutely scientists. And Simon and I are constantly running experiments to see what works, what doesn't. So we are not adverse to failure. We are not scared of failure. We are not scared to lose a little bit of money. If it helps us to figure out how to generate or create other streams of income. So we're just telling you what we do. Like I said, Simon is the more technical aspect
Okay.
of the business side of Simon Family Investment Ventures. So I don't do a lot of the technical stuff he does because I do a lot more of the bookkeeping and some of the other meticulous things that are tedious and pain. So I'm kind of learning this along with you guys, and I'm gonna sit, and because we are, I mean, we're in our 40s, so we're not old, but because we have such a large family, we don't take those riskier things. We're not looking for the 10 bagger. I told you guys that, right? So you'll never see a show where we're telling you how to get money quick. We are always about an absolutely strategic, low time preference, long-term view, delayed gratification, lots of sacrifice. So for those of you who are trying to flip money and make money a little bit faster, this really isn't the show or the channel for you. But if you are interested in taking the money you made real fast and trying to just figure out ways to protect and maintain it, a lot of the suggestions and recommendations and referrals and the resources that we have to offer is absolutely for you. And like I said, we have a large family, so we are responsible for the lives of children. We don't expect them to get out the mud. We just ain't them type of parents, right? We got it out the mud. What we're gonna do is we're gonna show you what we did. As time goes on, we're hoping that you show us, you know, what you're doing in this new time, in this new age, in order to build onto the wealth for your own children, for your own grandchildren. So he wanted to talk to you guys about Rule of 72 because he was working on some stuff for us, and I wasn't as aware of. I've heard of it. I didn't know how to implement the formula. I didn't know how to use it. It's actually more simpler than it feel.
Yeah.
Right, because you just kind of guesstimate what this is gonna do for me and how long it's gonna take. Do I have that type of time? Right, for people who are a little bit older, do you have 13.86 years for your investment to double? Maybe not. For your way younger, you're like, I mean, 13 years will come in a heartbeat.
Yeah, and that's true, you know, so it's just the rule of 72. I mean, it's something you can implement in your investment strategy, and as far as, you know, with your Bitcoin or whatever investments you have.
But this is also with the understanding that you're not touching this thing for however long that is in order to see it double. And I think that's where people would have the most trouble, right? It's easy for you and I to talk about it. Yeah, you know, we took 20 G's and put it in this thing, and it's like, okay, it's gonna take, when we did the exercise earlier, to 13.86 years to double. And it's not for us anyway, it's for our children, but that didn't really matter to us.
But you know, and I mean, it's like, you still gotta be strategic. Good friend of the show, CEO Andy Shackman, right? He would tell you about buying physical precious metals. I mean, physical, that you hold in your hand, coins, bars, and stuff like that, because it's harder to liquidate them than it is something that you have actual, like some kind of digital access to. So then, you know, when you build up silver and gold in a physical manner, you don't liquidate them because, you know, it's just, it's a headache. It's a headache.
And it's good, right? Because it's more of a challenge. You have to now package up your silver or gold, put it in a box, go to the post office, mail it off, wait 1 to 3 business days while they perform their assessments and tell you what it is. Now you get your money within a business day after that, but look at how much effort and work went into getting fiat currency.
Yeah, and so it's a good idea to have that physical, because, you know, just when you think about how much you gotta do, then you just leave it alone, and that way you can still keep your wealth.
Right,
Right.
and on the adverse side, right, when you got your Bitcoin on Cash App, it's just button, right?
Sure.
I got like, $12,000 in Bitcoin. I mean, just go ahead and take off $2,000 because we got to do whatever it is, and it might be important, whatever you need to do. So I'm not saying that it's not worth doing it. It's just so easy to hit that button, right? Which is convenient, but at the same time, it can be detrimental, just depending on your mindset, your discipline, and your ability to kind of put it back and so on and
Yeah,
so
you
forth.
want to have like stuff placed in certain ways where you can get something
Easy
right,
access. Yeah.
right now. If you need something right now, you can get it right now. There's other stuff you don't touch because you're like, it's too much work to go liquidate it. So but the rule of 72 is important. It's a very important rule that you have in economics. And so if you check that out on Investopedia,
Investopedia to me, just learning had a better setup to look at. It had a lot of tidbits I wrote in my little notebook. Wikipedia is good because it kind of generalizes it so that you can kind of really like, okay, I get this. It's very simple, makes sense, easy formula. When you go on Investopedia, it goes into a little bit more, it gives you a little bit more history and understanding and why you need it. But it's just a great tidbit for you to have as you're working on investments, especially for our low time preference people.
Yeah.
Right? Not the 10 baggers. Y'all trying to make money quick. This ain't for you. But for those of you guys who are like, hey, we in the game for a minute, you have to understand that whatever that number results in is the amount of time you're not touching whatever the asset or investment is. And it's typically like years, right? It's never 2-3 years. It's usually like 10, 12, 14, 19, 26.7 years, just depending on however your results add up.
Yeah.
Or resulting, I should say, because it don't add up. But whatever your results, and then whatever the outcome is, that just lets you know what you're looking at and what to do next. We don't have anything else.
No updates on anything.
No, so dog days of summer, we are gonna give you guys more updates as the BRICS nations set up for their meeting. I read an article, I didn't read it out loud to you, I'm gonna mention it now while we're talking to them.
Yeah.
It sounds like Putin won't make the BRICS nation conference or convention because he's got warrants. So everybody's gonna be looking in on that, because you just want to see how, of course, they're gonna send a representation in this place, but Putin is a heavy influencer within the BRICS nations, especially his relationship with China. So that is gonna be interesting. Is he gonna be like, F these warrants and go? Or is he gonna send a representative in this place? But as we get closer and closer to the convention and start seeing the outcome, India right now is still kind of apprehensive about some of the stuff that they want to do, especially in kind of moving against the US dollar and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
So it's a little soap opera going on. It's a little bit of drama.
Yeah, we'll have that when, once in the summer.
And even though de-dollarization is happening, people are still using the dollar heavy. So we're watching to see how stuff results, because every now and then things take a little plot twist. I'm noticing that people are still paying their settlements in dollars. People are apprehensive to go against the weaponization of the dollar.
Yeah.
They don't want to be sanctioned. Or they want to take the opportunity with the people who are moving away. They want to take the opportunity to establish that friendship and strengthen that bond in order to get whatever they can get with the United States. So we're kind of watching as things continue to evolve. Nothing is definitive. So we're just watching. The dollar is going to tank, right? That's definitive. It's just how and when is still up for debate.
Yeah, and we're gonna have, for our Bitcoiners out here, I'm still working on the show Scale and Variance, where we're gonna go over the logarithmic overlay that you can use on Bitcoin charts and see, how it works, how you can see other things. It'll be kind of a little bit similar to SOFR, spend output profit return. We did showing that a while back. So it's just a way that you can use scale and variance and logarithmic ways to kind of map over the chart. So it's a little complicated, but we'll get to it, right?
We'll definitely get to it. We hope you guys are having a happy and prosperous summer. We hope you guys are taking times to find bubbles, especially since a lot of you guys who do work, this is the time of the year when you're able to get time off from work. Create a bubble, take time to plan what it is you want to do, set up your pathways, your visions, your strategies, saving, putting away, investing, anything that can help you move to the next level, not just financially, but just mindset wise. Start doing things that make you uncomfortable, start working to learn new things, and especially work on finding something new and mastering that thing, right? All of these things have everything to do with wealth building, wealth maintenance, and wealth protection. It's 3 layers to wealth. People think when you get a bag like Mayweather got a bag, you get to gold. That's not true, right? So make sure you're working on the 3 layers of wealth generation and generational wealth.
That's it.
All right, we hope you guys have a great week. We're having Sunday dinner again today. I didn't have time today to make the typical Thanksgiving feast for my tribe, so we're just making some Texas chili. The kids really like it. I gotta make sure I don't make it too hot, because even though Santino was a trooper with the heat, I don't want it to be too hot for his little tummy. So we're gonna go and enjoy dinner. We're gonna have some fellowship. See y'all next week. Bye. Thank you.